Hi everyone! Welcome to the DeHart House podcast. My name is Alicia. I'm coming to you from the sunny side of the US. I'm coming to you from West Texas. My dog Marjorie is in the background playing with one of her toys and looking out the window. There have been several cats and pedestrians walking by, so we may randomly see Marjorie jump up in the window and throw a fit. I hope not, but it might happen. She's jumping a little bit. Anyway, she's a black lab. She may be hard to see down in the corner there, but yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to see her. There she goes. Okay. Distracted. So, I have my tea, as you can see. I'm back in the craft room, and life is good. The stars have finally aligned for me to record a podcast for you, and I could make up all the excuses in the world, but boils down to, let's see, finding the time, I know, getting the right lighting, and getting technology to actually work. Yeah. So, finding the time. School is almost ready to start, and so there has been prep work involved with that. So finding the time. Lighting, we've actually had some rain here, which is really good for my lawn, but not so good when you rely on natural lighting to record a podcast. So that has happened. And then when your old webcam decides to start putting crazy lines on the screen when you record, then you have to go to the store and buy a new webcam. Yes. So I am now recording with a new webcam, and we'll see how this works. I hope everything goes okay. I know in one episode I tried using a microphone, and someone sent me a comment to let me know that that was not working. Like, the video and the sound were not in sync throughout the video. So please, if you guys have, and if there are any issues that I didn't notice before posting this, just send me a message. I'd really, really appreciate it. Marjorie, what are you throwing a fit about? She's laying on the floor, staring at something. You can get that. Okay, so Marjorie is a sweetheart that if her toys, like if we're playing and we're throwing them around, or she's throwing them around, and they land on or near something she knows she's not supposed to jump on or touch, like if her toy lands on a bookshelf, she knows she's not allowed to take anything off the bookshelf. So she'll sit there and whine until someone grabs the toy for her. Like, if you're not going to let me get it, then I'm going to bug you until you get it. And that's kind of what she's doing right now. Yeah, because her toy is up against my, what do you call them? What do you call them, Marjorie? Templates for cutting out fabric for bags. And she's kind of freaking out, but she figured it out. Okay. She's a sweetheart. Yes. I think she likes the sound of dropping toys on the floor. She does it all the time. So I'm sorry if that's annoying. And usually she takes a nap while I record. But maybe that won't happen today. So, anyway, Marjorie is our 1-year-old black lab. She is very energetic and adorable, so. Okay. That's the puppy segment, unless Marjorie decides to chime in again. You can get it. It's okay. It's not on the bag. Okay. So, guys, it's been like a month, and I'm really sorry about that. Truly, 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 I did not intend to wait this long to put up another episode, so please forgive me, and with new tech and sunny days, we should be good to go with our regular schedule from now on. Okay, so let's get into it because I have piles of stuff, lots of things to talk about today, so let's get right into it. So for finished objects, I have one. Yeah, I have one thing I've finished this past month. That's really pathetic, but it is what it is. I feel like I've had a little bit of distracto knitting going on because I'm like, ooh, I want to cast on this yarn. Ooh, I really want to make that thing. And yeah, so I have like 6 works in progress and 1 finished thing. Okay, so the finished object is a pair of socks. Yes, I know. Okay, so these are Michael's new socks. I called these, here I'll just show one, the gray-brown marl socks because that's the name of the yarn. So I knit these. Okay, so the pattern is just a plain stockinette sock for the body. The heel is a fish lips kiss heel. The cuff is a 2x2 rib, and this is a really dark navy, so maybe you can't quite see that. Probably not. So the main color is Patton's Croy in the gray-brown marl colorway. And the toe, heel, and cuff are in Cascade Yarns in their navy color, which has a number, and I promise it's on the project page on Ravelry, if you're curious or interested. So he wanted some shorty socks. They fit him really well. He's already worn these, kind of hence them being loose on the form here. I did wash them and then set them aside, but after trying to record and failing, I told him he could go ahead and wear them because I didn't know when I would be able to do this again. So anyway, he loves them, and I do too. So yay! Another pair from Michael. All right, so that's my one finished item, guys. Yeah. She's just having fun. That's good. I am wearing my Doctor Who shirt today. Vote no on Daleks. So, just so you know. So, works in progress. I have a lot. So, let's start with, I guess, the one that's gotten the most work. This is my 5 Shades of Gray sweater, which is the So Faded sweater by Andrea Mowry, and I'll get out my pattern, which has been crumpled in the bag here. Oh yes, my printer ran out of ink while I was printing this, so it's awful. Ignore the picture. But yeah, the So Faded sweater by Andrea Mowry. This is a paid-for pattern on Ravelry. This is living in my sweater size Mario bag. Yeah, I'm almost finished with the body, guys. So I have color 5 on, which is the last color that I'm adding. So this is knit top down. So up here is the bottom of the sweater, and down here is the top of the sweater. Yeah. So if I hold this up the correct way for a sweater and move the yarn out of the way. So I'll tell you the 5 colors. So at the top we have, so this is a mixture of Cloudborne fibers, Merino Superwash sock twist in various, well, 2 colors of Cloudborne I used. And then the other 3 colors are Knit Pick Stroll. So this is a fingering weight sweater. All the yarns are a merino nylon blend, so it feels great, even with different brands. Like, feels consistent. So the first color is Cloudborn Fibers in black. Then we have Knit Pick Stroll in, this is Train Station Tonal. Then the third color is Knit Pick Stroll in Thunderhead Tonal. Then we have Cloudborn Fibers, and this is just a solid gray. And I couldn't find the tag for this. So if I find it, I'll put in the actual like color name up here, but this is just a nice light gray, solid. And then the 5th color down here is another tonal. This is Pearlescent Tonal. Yeah, so I've started the ribbing at the bottom here, and then I'll be finished with the body. I'll go back up, pick up the sleeves. I also need to do the ribbing around the collar still. So I'm not finished, but I mean, yeah, this looks pretty cool. And I tried it on last night to make sure the length was right before I started the ribbing, and yeah, I'm just following the pattern. It's going very smoothly. So this has gotten a lot of work because this is really easy to knit while watching TV, especially for the body. Like, once you don't have any increases to do, you're just knitting in rounds for, you know, whatever length you need to go for that color. And yeah, so we've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones, and I've been knitting this, so I love it. And I've been using my Yarn-It like crazy. Yeah, so if you don't have a Yarn-It, these things are really cool. I love this. I love this thing like crazy. Check it out. All right. So last time I showed this to you guys, I make a bunch of noise. Okay, there it is. Not the feather, that's holding a drop stitch. The tent, yeah. Yeah, I was in color, oh, no. Last time I showed this to you guys, I had a different color 3 on here. That's right. I had joined color 3. I had done the color melding here, the fading. I knit all the way to where I was going to start color 4, set this on the couch, took a step back, and hated it. Yeah, I hated it because color 2 here is beautifully variegated, and the color 3 I was using was more of a striping yarn than a variegated, and I did not like going solid variegated striping solid. It just looked weird. So color 2 here is a Knit Pick Stroll colorway. So when I didn't like color 3 that I had before, I went in my stash. I couldn't find anything that would work. So I went online and ordered this from Knit Picks because it looked like it was going to blend well from this other Knit Picks color, and I think it does. And then I also ordered color 5 from Knit Picks because I didn't have a nice super light color that I wanted to use, and I didn't want to just do cream like the natural undyed yarn. So anyway, I had a fiasco. I ripped back, I redid color 3, and I'm so happy with it. So I'm so happy with my so faded sweater. Yep, I am really excited to wear this in the fall and winter, and yep, I'm just gonna keep trucking on that, and it will just finish itself. Okay, that clears off a huge spot on my table here. All right, so I went through all the yarns. I'm knitting that on, sorry, I have to check a work email. Please excuse me. Okay, sounds good. So I went through the pattern, I went through the yarns, and then the needles are, I'm using ChiaoGoo, US size 5 for the body and the sleeves, and US size 3 for the ribbing. So those are 3.75 millimeter and 3.25 millimeter respectively. Yay. Okay. All right. So that's one sweater on the needles. I have a second sweater on the needles, and that would be Michael's sweater. So this is Michael's Blue Flax. The pattern is Flax by Tin Can Knits, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. I am knitting this out of DeHart Super Saver yarn in the soft navy colorway. So this is a worsted weight sweater. So I have progressed, let's see, there's the stitch marker. We have Superman for Michael's sweater. Yeah, so I've added a few inches since last time. This is another top-down sweater. Yeah, it's funny because I didn't realize working with worsted weight versus fingering, there is a huge difference. And like the acrylic yarn versus the wool, I mean, the enjoyment level changes. And I feel like this is this requires more work of me. So it hasn't seen as much love. But I did order a needle with a longer cable because I had this on, well, I was using my Knitter's Pride interchangeable needles, but one of the cables, like one end of, it's not the cable because it fits other tips. So I think it's just that size tip, because even if I switched the tips, it was still that same side that wouldn't screw on all the way. I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway, on one side of the cable, I couldn't get the tip to screw on all the way. So there was this gap where the threads were exposed, some of the threads, and you know, each loop of my knitting would get caught on it, and it was super annoying. So I went ahead and ordered just a 40-inch cable of the size needle that I needed, which is, I believe, size 5. One of these will tell me. Yep, US size 5, which is a 3.75 millimeter. And since I've changed that over, it's much, much better. So that's good. But yeah, I really need to work on this because I'm kind of being a little selfish with my knitting, and I'm loving the stuff I'm making for myself. I need to work on things for other people, not be so selfish. So, but yeah, that's had a little bit of progress, which is good. So, and this doesn't get a bag because I'm running out of bags. Yeah, like I only have the 2 big ones for myself, and they're both taken. So okay, so that's 2 sweaters on the needles, and if that wasn't enough, I put a third one on the needles. So I'll skip ahead in my notes to this one. So this is living in my, let's see, which bag is this? This is Woolridge Designs, and this is such a cute bag. So in here is a sweater. Yep, there's a sweater in here. It's not for an adult, it's for a baby. Okay, So this is a sweater for a friend who is pregnant. You know who you are. If you would like this to be a surprise and you're watching, then skip forward. Avert your eyes, don't listen kind of thing. And if you don't care and you want to see, then watch. I don't care. Okay. So this is Z's baby sweater. Okay. And Z is having a boy. So I went with boy colors. So I am knitting the Flax Light, which is the fingering weight version of the flax. Excuse me, sorry. And it's just a wee little bitty one. So I decided to do striping instead of just a solid color. So for the main color here, I guess you could call it the main color, that is, and I have to flip ahead in my notes, sorry. Wait, I have the tags. Yep. So we have fancy Heritage Silk Cascade yarns. So there is silk in there. It's super soft. And the color number is 5639. And then the other color is Knit Picks Hawthorne Fingering in the Laurelhurst colorway. Yep. So it's soft. It's super cute. So we've got brown and then the green and golds. Yeah. It's so tiny. Yep. Okay, so did I write down what size needles? Of course not. I think, okay, so I'm knitting on US size 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter, and of course they're my Chow Goose, because I love Chow Goo. Cool. Yeah, so I have 3 sweaters going, 2 for adults and 1 for a baby. And this is why I can't finish anything, because I'm insane. That's okay. Whatever. Yeah, so I really want to get this finished so I can wrap it up and have it ready to go whenever she has a baby shower or whatever, you know. Okay. Oh, put the tags back in there. Alright, so that concludes the sweater segment for today. Let's talk about some socks. Okay, put this on the floor so I know I talked about it. So I have some socks for Michael, which I started at the end of July because I finished my July socks and there was like a week left and I wanted to knit something like socks. Hello, Marjorie. And but I couldn't start my August socks yet. So I cast on some more Patons Croix from Michael. So this is in the Slate Jacquard colorway. And I, for some reason, decided that I really wanted to knit 2 at a time. Which I usually don't do. But whatever. So, like I said, Patons Croix Slate Jacquard is the color. I have no idea, like, the pattern really yet. Like, I don't know if I pulled opposites or if they're just out of sync or what, because I have no idea what this is going to look like. So, it's still a surprise. Yeah. But I did my usual cuff down 2x2 rib. I do the twisted German cast on. I knit 2x2 rib for 20 rounds. And then I'm just doing the plain stockinette sock. I will use a Fish Lips Kiss heel, and I'm also planning on making these shorty socks. So Mike will have a few pairs of shorty socks. Yep. So I'm calling these my TIE Fighter socks, or Michael's TIE Fighter socks, because they're living in dun, 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 a Star Wars bag. And TIE Fighters are black and gray and whatever. They're his TIE Fighter socks. Yeah. Cool. So, yes, I am doing, since I'm knitting 2 at a time, I do have, oh my god, this is completely black inside. How are you going to see anything? I do have 2 balls of yarn in there. I was going to try to do pull from the outside, pull from the center, and I couldn't even make it through the cast on without things getting completely tangled, and so I decided just to wind up both balls separately. So, yep. So, I haven't worked on those much because it's August and I need to work on my socks. Selfish. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm terrible. Whatever. So, in my another DeHart House Creations bag, this is my coffee bag, and in here are my August socks, and I did finish one. Yep. I did finish one of them. So I'm going with more shorties, but not as short as my July socks. So what I'm doing here is, again, cuff down, twisted German cast on, 2x2 rib for 20 rounds, and then I knit 20 rounds of stockinette before starting the heel. Then I did my Fish Lips Kiss heel, then I knit, the length of my foot, and then my nice standard toe. So, and I was keeping track of my daily progress here with my stitch marker, but since you guys haven't seen these yet, this is Cloudborn Fibers, like a mini self-striping, and here we go again, I can't find the tag. So I currently don't know the color name, but if I find the tag, I'll put it on the screen for you. It is green and blue and gray. Yep. So one sock is finished. The other sock, I'm currently doing the heel decreases and whatnot, and so yeah, and you can see I didn't use any contrasting color. I just went for it. I think it looks cool. Like the mini stripes got thicker on the heel, which I thought was neat. A neat thing. So, yep. Cool. So those are my August socks. My coffee bag. Are we done yet? Okay, I got one more sock. I mean, it's a sock. Well, it's a stocking. It's a Christmas knit. So I put in my Christmas bag. And it kind of is taking up this whole bag. Well, I think it's mostly the skeins, but okay, so I was watching the Wet Coast Wools podcast, and Bernadette, right? Gosh, I hope it's Bernadette. Anyway, I think it's Bernadette. She had made a Christmas stocking. The pattern is called Christmas Stocking. It's by Arnie and Carlos, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. I can't remember what weight of yarn the pattern called for, but Bernadette had talked about using worsted weight instead, but still using the same stitch count, but you adjust the needle size because of the different weight of yarn, and I thought it looked amazing. And I had to cast it on that day after seeing what she had done, because I've been wanting to make us stockings. And I loved it. So let me just show you what I have so far. It's not finished. It's definitely a work in progress. Yeah. It's pretty cool looking. If I can, there we go. Yep, so we're knitting it top down. It is it 2x2 rib up here? Yeah, it's 2x2 rib up here. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm knitting this out of Red Heart yarn. We've got burgundy and white and a nice charcoal gray. And it is color work, which is something I don't have much experience with. So you can probably tell in the reindeer section that I don't float well. And if you go swimming with me, you'll know I don't float well either. But here I don't float well. I mean, look at the bumpy. Yeah, right? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, and maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're floating the yarn back here, you're carrying it behind your work, and it kind of floats back there. And you don't want those to be tight, and you don't want them to be too loose. You want it to be just right. Oh my god, I hate when people say that. It has to be just right. Well, how do you freaking know? Okay, you practice. That's how you practice. I know. But I'm not going to cast on a dummy project to practice first before I make something I care about. Because if I don't care about the dummy project, it's not going to get done. I'm not going to practice it, whatever. So I don't care. This one's for me, since it's the first one. And if I F it up, then it doesn't matter. It's mine. Cool. So I'm hoping, this is tough because I'm doing this in really awful magic loop, and so the sides here are definitely janky, but whatever. Like I said, it's for me. I'm figuring out what just right means for me. I'm figuring out how to handle the sides here, and anyway, but I like it so far. It's been really fun following a chart. It's been really fun seeing the pattern appear. I used to knit as a thrower, and now I knit continental where I sort of pluck. So holding the two colors and knitting the two ways is great because I mastered a second way of knitting. So that part was easy for me. It's just the carrying the yarn with the right tension, not too loose, not too tight. I'm still trying to figure out what just right means for my knitting. And I get that the reason they say just right, it's different for everyone, yada yada. Yeah, okay. So anyway, this is fun. This is really fun. So I want to make one for myself, one for Michael, and of course I want to make one for Marjorie, our dog, because why not? So yeah. So I've started some Christmas knitting, and anyway, I sound really sad now, like, oh, it's over. I've made it through all my knitting, and now I have nothing else to talk about, except I do. Okay. So, oh yeah, see, this is why we have notes, right? Because then I go, oh yeah, I have more to talk about. So I handwrite my notes because I can't seem to keep battery life on things, like, whatever, it's gonna fail me, so I handwrite stuff. Okay, so I got some new yarn. I don't know what I was gonna just say. Yeah, keeping it real, guys. We're keeping it real. So, I did a little online shopping. I found this yarn that was like, you have to buy me, right? Wait, you know what I'm talking about. So, I bought some yarn from a new to me dyer. So, this is Dye is Cast yarns, and show you the label here. Maybe it will focus, but play on words. Yep, not gonna do it. So Dye is Cast yarns, and she's got a dye, but she's talking about dye as in the color. So this color is Rainbow Storm. So it's gray with pops of color. It's a 75-25 superwash merino nylon. Has 463 yards. It's 100 grams, so it's whole skein, right? Cool. So I've been working on this 5 shades of gray sweater, and I think I was thinking gray, but color, and anyway, it doesn't matter my thought process. This is beautiful. So she's got the base color of gray, and then she's splashed in color, right? Hopefully you can see that. And it's really cool looking. So, yep. Dye is Cast yarns on Etsy, right? Yeah. dyeiscastyarns.com. There we go. Cool. So check it out if you haven't already. She's got some beautiful colors in there. She dyes them to order. So, cool. Like it. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but that doesn't matter. Okay. And then I got my Yarnbox subscription in the mail. So I subscribe to Yarnbox. I get a skein of yarn each month. And last time I talked to you guys in July, it's now August. In case you didn't know, and August, of course, is on the way out. September will be here before you know it. Okay, so the Yarnbox yarn that I got was dyed by Lucky 13 Fibers, and it's not going to want to focus. Cool, whatever, you can see it. Lucky 13 Fibers. This and you can find them at lucky13fibers.com, on Instagram, and their shop. Cool. On Etsy. The color is purple gray speckled, which totally speaks for itself. It's really, really terrific. Yep. So it is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend. It's a whole skein at 100 grams and 463 yards. They even put in that it's a 4-ply. Yep. It is gorgeous. Yep. Very happy with my Yarnbox subscription. I'm getting glorious goodies like this. And it's only, what, like $20 a month? Probably plus tax. But anyway, I mean, it's a surprise. You don't know what you're getting, but it's a good surprise. So let's see, did I put it in here? Yeah, so Yarnbox puts in a little blurb about the yarn. So their thing this week was, are you feeling lucky? We rolled the dice and won big with lucky 13 fibers. Chicago-based dyer Jim Furr specializes in beautiful speckled colorways. We're featuring on the finger weight superwash merino nylon base. Each 100-gram skein contains, the details I gave you. Perfect for your brand new pair of speckled socks. So, yes, check them out. Lucky13fibers.com. Speckled yarn, go for it. It's soft. It's beautiful. Okay. Thankfully, that's all I've gotten this month. Well, other than the 2 skeins I'm putting into my So Faded sweater, which was an emergency buy at the last minute. Can't believe I had to do that. Whatever. Okay. So, that wraps it up for knitting. If that's all you were here for, that's fine. That's cool. If you want to stick around for a little bit and hear about what I'm reading and running, stick around. Okay. So guys, I've been reading the Game of Thrones series for years now. I am a slow reader. Not that slow of a reader, but it sure seems like it. I started the Game of Thrones series before graduate school, but graduate school is so time consuming, I didn't really get to read during grad school because it's go to class and then study and then teach and then study some more, maybe get some sleep, study some more. Yeah, which was good. I definitely enjoyed it. I was obsessed with math like crazy, and it was fun. But I didn't get to knit. I didn't get to read. Running definitely fell to the wayside. I mean, I couldn't really keep up with anything else, just the math. So that was a little tangent for you. Little tidbit. Grad school is really time consuming, but in the end worth it. So I'm reading Game of Thrones. I'm on book 5. Yay! Yep. I'm on book 5. I'm this far. No, just kidding. No, I really am this far. I'm not kidding about that, but I'll tell you more than that. I'm on page 176 out of, oh gosh, 1,123 pages. But that's counting, okay, that's counting his little preview. And that's counting his little acknowledgments letter. And that's counting the breakdown of all of the houses and who is who. If I go over here. Okay, so the last page of the actual text is 1051. Okay. Whatever. Yeah. It's interesting because I wanted to wait to watch the series until I finished reading the text, but of course the series is ahead of what I can read because book 6 isn't out. So I just went ahead and started watching them and got Michael into it, and so we're watching Game of Thrones together. And of course some parts in the show are ahead of where I am in the book, and some parts in the show aren't, which is interesting. It's interesting to read the book while watching the show, and so like the differences and similarities are really obvious because you're like, oh, I haven't read that yet, or oh, I have read that. I just read that last night, and that's not how it went. That's not how it went down in the book. But Anyway, I'm really enjoying it. I was reading it on my tablet while running on the treadmill, but now I'm running outside. And no, I'm not carrying this book with me when I run outside. Are you crazy? Uh, but I will walk and read, or read before I go to bed, or read on the, well, I already said walk and read, but read while I'm walking to work or something. But yeah, I'll just fit it in here and there where I can. And like I said, I'm not the fastest reader, so if I don't sit down and read a lot, and I'm a slow reader, it's going to take me a while to get through this book, but I'll get there. And then, to top things off, I can't just read one book at a time. Of course not. So I started another one. And you may laugh at me, but I've never read this book before. So I started Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Because why not? We have it. Thank you, Goodwill. Yeah, so I'm on page 46 out of like 300. I feel like I'm making really good progress in this book. Whatever. No, it's a nice light read to break up the heavy read. So I've been switching back and forth between the two, and it's delightful. Why not? I really enjoyed the movies. I haven't even seen all of the movies. Need to work on that. But yeah, it's fun. I'm liking it so far. So yeah, I'm actually reading, and that's enjoyable. Very nice. That's pretty much it on that front. And then with running, I had an injury, which I think I told you guys about. I was running too hard, too fast, injured myself. My hip was bothering me even when I wasn't running. So I knew something was wrong, and I had to take a break, rest it. I've been walking and just walking, and now I'm starting to run again. And you know, I was hesitant to try running again because I didn't want to just flare it back up if it didn't heal, but everything's good. So I started out really slowly, only running half mile, slowly increasing my mileage, and now I'm running outside rather than on the treadmill, and everything's going really well so far. I think I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, slowly increase. Don't try to run a half marathon. It's not going to happen. It's definitely not going to happen this year because my body can't take it. So I know that now. I can't push myself like I used to when I was 20. So yeah, it's sad, but we all get older, right? So my mileage, I'll tell you guys. So last week I ran a total of 4.3 miles for the week. Like I said, I'm slowly increasing. I'm not even kidding about it. I only ran 4 miles last week. About a mile for 4 days. So that's okay. That's what I need to do, and just slowly increase my mileage. I'm up to running 1.3 miles now when I go out. So we'll see what my total is at the end of this week, but it's been really nice. I've been doing it in the morning. Like I said, I'm in West Texas, and we're having highs of like 95 degrees, and with the rain we've recently had, it's also been kind of humid outside. So if you don't run in the morning, it's going to be really tough. And one day I did wait. Last week, I only ran like 3/4 of a mile because I waited too long. I went at 9 o'clock in the morning instead of 7 o'clock in the morning, and it was way too hot. I came home and my face was beet red. I could feel my heart pounding in my head, and it wasn't even that hot. It was like 82 degrees. But the humidity and the sun, and it just, nope, can't do it. So I've been getting up at like 5:30 in the morning, letting my coffee settle in my stomach, because there's no way I'm getting up without my coffee, and then going for a run at like anywhere between 6:30 and 7. I'll start my run. So it's been going well. I hope that I can keep that up and keep going, because it really is a great start to my day, and I miss running. I love running outside and looking around. You see all sorts of things when you're outside, but it's really tough for me. I'm originally from Michigan and lived in Montana for about 3 years while going to grad school, and I'm still not used to the hot temperatures. I can't handle it. It's too much for me. So anyway, it's tough to get outside and enjoy being outside when I'm dying. I'm not dying, but I'm sweating like crazy. I'm having trouble breathing. I'm baking in the sun and getting sunburned, and I'm just not having a good time. So it's nice to go running in the morning and get that outdoor enjoyment first thing in the morning. Great start to my day. So I just want to keep that going. But anyway, that's my little spiel about running. I hope that I can share more like good things about it. But like I said, I'm just getting back into it after an injury, and you have to take those injuries seriously, because you can make it worse by pushing through if it's so anyway. So guys, that's really all I have for you today. Really, that's it. Just mountains of knitting and like extra tidbits about reading and stuff. But thank you so much for sticking around and watching this episode. If you're a new viewer, thanks for stopping by. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video. That way other knitters and readers and runners get a chance to see this video pop up in their feed. The more people that subscribe, the more I get out there for more people to see, and more. Okay, done with that word. So thanks guys for sticking around, and like I said, I'm going to be a better podcaster for you, I promise. So I'll see you next time. Happy knitting, happy reading, and happy running. Bye guys.